Good evening, everyone. Let me start with a truth we often ignore. Not everyone who says I love you means it, and not everyone who stays silent is indifferent. In a world obsessed with noise, likes, followers, double texts, and sweet nothings, it's easy to mistake volume for value. But let me tell you something I've learned. Silence, real raw silence, can speak louder than 1,000 empty I love yous. See, I've seen fake love. I've tasted its sweetness and felt its poison. It looks perfect on the outside, gift-wrapped with good intentions, compliments, and Instagram captions, but inside it's hollow, it's manipulative. It takes more than it gives, and when it leaves you questioning your worth. But silence doesn't pretend. Silence is honest. Silence is powerful. It doesn't dress itself up to impress anyone. It doesn't whisper lies to keep you close. It just is, and sometimes silence is how you heal. Because when someone gives you fake love, they're not loving you, they're using you. They're filling a void inside themselves by creating one in you. And when you finally go silent, when you stop reacting, stop begging, stop trying to prove you deserve real love, that's when the power shifts. Silence is not weakness. It's not surrender. It's grace under pressure. It's choosing dignity over drama. It's choosing peace over chaos. And most importantly, it's choosing yourself. You know, I've walked away from people I thought I couldn't breathe without, and guess what? I'm still breathing. In fact, I'm thriving, because letting go of fake love made space for real love, for people who show up, not just speak up. For people who don't need to say I love you every 5 minutes, because they prove it every single day. So if you're in a place right now where you feel like you're shouting into the void, trying to make someone see your worth, stop. Don't raise your voice, raise your standards, go silent, not to punish them, but to protect yourself, because at the end of the day, real love doesn't need to scream to be heard, but fake love, it'll always be loud. Because it's trying to cover up the silence of its own emptiness, and you deserve more than echoes of affection. You deserve truth, you deserve peace, you deserve the kind of love that speaks. Even when it's silent. Fake love is something many people encounter in their lives, often without even realizing it at first. It tends to be loud, dramatic, and flashy, catching attention with grand gestures, sweet words, and constant declarations of affection. On the surface, it looks and feels like love, the kind of love we all crave and seek. But beneath the surface, it's empty. It lacks the depth and sincerity that real love holds. Fake love often relies on appearances and words rather than genuine actions and consistent care. It tries to impress, to convince, and to mask the true intentions behind an illusion. This kind of love is easy to mistake for the real thing because it speaks the language we want to hear. It showers compliments and makes promises that seem heartfelt, yet it rarely follows through with genuine support or respect. Instead, it is often self-centered, serving the needs or desires of the person giving it rather than the person receiving it. Fake love can be manipulative. It uses emotional tactics like guilt, jealousy, or flattery to keep someone hooked or to maintain control. One of the key characteristics of fake love is its inconsistency. It might be intense and overwhelming in one moment, but cold and distant the next. This unpredictability can create confusion and insecurity, making the person on the receiving end doubt their own feelings and worth. Because fake love often comes with conditions, I love you if you do this, or I care about you only when it benefits me, it does not foster a safe or nurturing environment where trust can grow. Real love, by contrast, is quiet but steady. It doesn't need to shout or constantly prove itself because its foundation is built on trust, respect, and genuine care. Fake love tries to fill a void, often its own, by creating noise and spectacle, but this is a mask for the emptiness it hides. Recognizing the difference between the two is crucial because holding on to fake love can drain your energy, damage your self-esteem, and keep you from experiencing the real, fulfilling love you deserve. Understanding that fake love is loud but hollow empowers you to look beyond the surface. It encourages you to pay attention to actions rather than just words, to consistency rather than just promises. It reminds you that true love is about presence, support, and honesty, not just the volume of affection you hear. When you realize this, you begin to value yourself enough to refuse anything less than what's real and meaningful. Silence often gets misunderstood. In a world where noise is everywhere, constant chatter, social media updates, endless notifications, silence can feel uncomfortable or even frightening. But silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a powerful and honest space that holds immense meaning. Unlike fake love, which tries to fill every moment with words and promises, silence doesn't pretend or mask the truth. It reveals it. When someone chooses silence, especially in relationships, it can mean many things. It can mean reflection, self-respect, or a refusal to engage in something that doesn't serve them. Silence can be a way of drawing boundaries without shouting or causing drama. It's an honest response when words would only add confusion, hurt, or deception. Real strength lies in knowing when to speak and when to hold back, and silence is a tool that shows emotional maturity and clarity. Silence also creates space. It allows us to step back and see things as they truly are, without the noise of excuses, distractions, or false emotions clouding our judgment. In silence, we can hear our own thoughts and feelings clearly, which helps us recognize what is real and what is not. This clarity is essential when dealing with fake love, which thrives on noise and distraction to keep us from seeing its emptiness. Furthermore, silence is a form of communication. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. Sometimes, silence conveys disappointment, hurt, or the final decision to let go. It can be louder and more impactful than words because it leaves space for reflection and forces others to confront their actions or inactions. Silence demands respect because it shows that a person values themselves enough not to settle for less. In relationships, silence can be a signal of self-preservation. It's not about ignoring or punishing the other person, but about protecting your peace and emotional well-being. Instead of engaging in endless arguments or chasing after fake love, silence helps you reclaim control over your own story. It is a way of saying, I am choosing myself. In contrast to fake love's empty noise, silence holds truth. It is patient, grounded, and dignified. It doesn't need to shout or manipulate because it knows its worth. Embracing silence in moments of uncertainty or hurt can be incredibly healing. It helps you reconnect with your inner strength and reminds you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply to be still and listen to yourself and to life. Choosing silence in the face of fake love is one of the most profound acts of self-respect a person can make. It's often misunderstood as weakness or avoidance, but in reality, it takes immense courage and strength to stop engaging in a relationship or situation that doesn't honor your worth. When you go silent, you are not giving up or surrendering. You are protecting yourself from emotional harm and reclaiming your power. Fake love can be exhausting because it demands constant attention, reassurance, and emotional labor, often without giving back equally. You may find yourself caught in a cycle of trying to prove your value, chasing after someone's affection, or justifying your feelings. This can leave you feeling drained, confused, and doubting your own worth. Silence becomes a way to break that cycle. It is a deliberate choice to stop feeding energy into something that doesn't nurture you or contribute positively to your life. Silence sends a clear message, not to others necessarily, but to yourself, that you are worthy of respect and love that is genuine. By stepping back and choosing not to respond to the noise of fake affection, you create a boundary that says, I will not tolerate being treated as an option or an afterthought. This boundary is crucial for maintaining your dignity and emotional health. It is a way of prioritizing your well-being over the temporary comfort of staying in a relationship that diminishes you. Moreover, silence gives you space to heal. Constant engagement with fake love can prevent you from seeing the reality of the situation and from moving forward. Silence allows you to pause, reflect, and reconnect with your true feelings. It helps you regain clarity about what you want and deserve in a relationship. This pause is necessary to rebuild your self-esteem and confidence, which fake love often chips away at. Choosing silence is also a way to avoid unnecessary conflict or drama. Fake love tends to stir emotional chaos, arguments, misunderstandings, and emotional manipulation. Responding to this only drags you deeper into negativity. Silence keeps you above the noise and prevents you from getting caught up in toxic patterns. In essence, choosing silence is choosing yourself. It is an act of self-care and self-empowerment. It demonstrates that you respect yourself enough to walk away from what no longer serves you and to protect your peace. When you embrace silence in the face of fake love, you open the door to real love. Love that is respectful, consistent, and genuine. One of the hardest lessons to learn in life is to stop chasing validation from people who don't truly value you. When we're caught in the grip of fake love, it's easy to believe that if we just try harder, say the right things, or change ourselves, we'll finally be accepted and loved for who we are. But this chase for validation is exhausting, painful, and ultimately unfulfilling because it's based on someone else's standards, not your own worth. Fake love often comes with conditions, conditional acceptance that depends on your actions, your appearance, or your willingness to tolerate behaviors that hurt you. This conditional love means you never feel secure or truly seen. Instead, you're constantly walking on eggshells, wondering if today will be the day when the love disappears or turns cold again. This uncertainty chips away at your self-esteem and makes you desperate for reassurance. You seek signs of affection, proof that you matter, and approval that you are enough. But real love doesn't ask you to prove yourself or to bend over backward to be accepted. It is steady and consistent. It doesn't require you to shout louder, try harder, or fix your flaws to be worthy of care and respect. Real love is patient and unconditional. It accepts you fully, including your imperfections, without making you feel like you have to earn it every day. When you stop chasing validation from those who don't value you, you take back your power. You begin to trust your own voice and judgment instead of relying on others' approval. You learn that your worth isn't determined by someone else's ability or willingness to show affection. This shift in mindset is liberating because it frees you from the endless cycle of seeking external validation that fake love traps you in. It also opens the door for healthier relationships. When you no longer tolerate people who treat you as less than you deserve, you create space for genuine connections. You attract those who see your value naturally, without conditions or games. And more importantly, you learn to love yourself first, setting the foundation for real love to grow. Letting go of the need for validation from fake love means embracing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less. It means understanding that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone to be loved. When you fully accept this, you no longer chase after empty promises or fake affection. You wait for the love that is real, steady, and true. Letting go of fake love is one of the most important steps toward finding real, meaningful love. It's never easy to release something familiar, even when that something is unhealthy or insincere. But holding on to fake love only keeps you trapped in a cycle of pain, disappointment, and unfulfilled longing. When you choose to let go, you create space not only in your heart but also in your life, for something better, something genuine to enter. Fake love can feel addictive because it often comes with moments of intensity and false hope that keep you holding on. The highs might be thrilling, but the lows are devastating. This push and pull keeps you emotionally off balance and unable to fully open yourself to something authentic. By releasing fake love, you break free from this exhausting pattern. You stop giving your energy to something that drains you rather than nourishes you. Creating this space through letting go is essential because it allows you to heal. Fake love often damages self-esteem and blurs your sense of what love really means. When you let go, you give yourself permission to rediscover your worth and to reflect on what you truly want and need in a relationship. This healing process is necessary to rebuild your confidence and emotional strength, making you ready to receive real love when it comes. Letting go is also a declaration of hope and faith. It's an act of courage that says, I believe something better exists for me. This belief is powerful. It keeps your heart open even after you've been hurt. It reminds you that real love isn't just a dream but a possibility worth waiting for. It shifts your focus from clinging to what's familiar but false to embracing the unknown but promising. Real love doesn't rush in. It arrives when you are ready and have made room for it. By letting go of fake love, you clear out the clutter of false expectations and emotional confusion. You make space for relationships built on trust, respect, and genuine care, relationships that add value to your life rather than subtract from it. In essence, letting go of fake love is not just about ending something. It's about beginning anew. It's about opening your heart to possibilities that honor who you are and what you deserve. When you release what no longer serves you, you welcome the chance for love that is true, steady, and fulfilling. Raising your standards instead of raising your voice is a powerful mindset shift, especially when dealing with fake love. Often, when we feel ignored, undervalued, or hurt by someone we care about, our first instinct is to make more noise, whether that's by arguing, pleading, or trying harder to get their attention and affection. But increasing the volume of our emotions doesn't guarantee that the other person will listen or change. Instead, it often leads to more frustration, misunderstandings, and emotional exhaustion. Raising your standards means recognizing your own worth and refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. It means setting clear boundaries about how you want to be treated and what you will no longer tolerate. This isn't about being harsh or unkind. It's about honoring yourself and demanding respect. When you raise your standards, you communicate to yourself and others that your happiness and peace are non-negotiable. Fake love thrives in the gaps created by low standards or desperation. When you accept excuses, tolerate inconsistency, or allow disrespect, you inadvertently lower the bar for what you'll accept. This keeps you stuck in unhealthy patterns and prevents real, nourishing love from entering your life. By raising your standards, you close the door on fake love and open the door to genuine relationships built on honesty, care, and mutual respect. Choosing to raise your standards also means you no longer feel the need to fight for someone's love or approval. Instead of shouting to be heard or proving your worth through constant effort, you stand firm in your value and wait for love that matches it. This approach shifts the power dynamic. It no longer puts you in a position of chasing someone, but rather attracting people who see and appreciate your true worth. Raising your standards requires courage because it often means walking away from familiar relationships that are comfortable but unfulfilling. It means saying no to people and situations that drain your energy and saying yes to yourself. It's a declaration that you will not settle for anything less than love that is real, steady, and respectful. Ultimately, raising your standards, not your voice, is a form of self-love and empowerment. It shows that you trust yourself enough to demand the respect you deserve and that you believe in the possibility of better love. When you raise your standards, you create space for healthier, happier